All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the D.T.M Music Podcast. I'm Devin Dungan, and here with me is Mr. Stephen Mott. How you doing, brother?
Great brother Jake Z drummer.
Oh, I didn't. How you doing, Pete?
I'm doing great. Bubba Joe.
Oh, howdy. So today we're going to be talking 1986's Ratt Dancing Undercover, released on August 9th, 1986, produced by Bo Hill. This is the band's third studio album overall. So yeah, I mean this was pretty big album at the time. It was a drop off compared to the previous albums, though. It only went platinum compared to multi-platinum status previous albums, but it's an album. I really enjoy this record. I mean, overall, back in the day, I used to have sort of a problem with it, but now, as times went on, I enjoy this record. So, I mean, Ratt, at this point, is one of my favorite bands. I really enjoy them. And, yeah, I mean, more into the album here in a few. So, what do you guys think, kind of opening impressions on the album? Steven?
I think it's pretty bad. It's terrible.
All right.
It's gonna be fun.
What about you, Pete?
Frick.
Okay.
That's all. Nah, I'm just playing. It's pretty good.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, guess we can stop wasting time here and get into the album with the very first track on here, Dance. So, the first single released off the record. I love this song. I mean, it's classic Ratt. I mean, it brings the album in with a punch. I dig it. I think it's a really good album opener and a really good song overall. So, I mean, not much else I can say about that. So, Steve, what is your thoughts on this song?
Well, I think it was the worst song I've ever heard on planet Earth. And it was a horrible way to start off the album. And it just sucked. Altogether, nothing about it was good. And the drummer sucked too. He was way out of time and he couldn't really play. So, and I hated the drum sound. So back to you, Devin.
So, Pete, what is your thought on the first track, Dance?
I like the guitar solo on part of it because I know I could not do that on the guitar solo stuff. So I like that part. That's all I have to say about that.
Alrighty, so the second track on the record, One Good Lover. Well, the first time I heard the record, I liked this record fine. Then I went back and listened to it again. Didn't care for it. I've heard it a couple times since. Didn't care for it. Getting more into Ratt here more recently, I've gotten into this album and I like this album a lot more. So this track is a good song. I think it's hard by a disjointed verse and chorus. I think that the chorus comes in out of nowhere. The song's good, don't get me wrong, but just the overall song itself is just not the best in the world. So, I mean, Steve, what do you think of this track?
Well, I think the drummer sucks. And he needs to be replaced immediately by Devin Dungan. Without any pay, and he needs to be fired forever. But anyway, this one is one of the worst. Like this album is like worse than Skinner 91. Like it's up there. I'm telling you. So I mean, I'm just gonna give it away right now. I mean, everything but my rating. That's come for later. And this song is a great example of that, and it sucks bad. It is pretty bad, and I just don't know.
Pete, what is your thought on this?
I'm not a big fan of it. I still could not understand a word it said in it. It still had good guitar solo in it because I knew I could not do it. So that's pretty much it on that one.
So that's how Gerald gauges if something is a good guitar solo if he can't do it.
Yeah. If it sounds like a legendary crap, then yes, they are good. They sound like B.B. King or something better than that, then yeah, they good.
Okay. So then we'll move to track number 3, Drive Me Crazy. So this is a step back up for the album. I mean, Heavy song. I love the intro, how it just kind of bleeds from the end of One Good Lover right into this track. I like that quite a bit. And yeah, it's a heavy track. You got some lead play from Robin Crosby on this song. Rest in peace, Robin Crosby. And yeah, I mean, I really dig this one. I like the little breakdown after the chorus where you have the little electronic pads or whatever in there. I like that quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, overall, a really good song. Another really great song on this record. So, Stephen, what is your thoughts, or what are your thoughts on this song?
Well, this one isn't bad compared to the other ones on the album. Although it still kind of was not really that good. And I don't know, the bass player was doing something really crazy with this song. He's retarded, and I just don't know. I mean, I just can't not stand this whole band, and they need a new producer. So back to you, Devin.
Pete, what is your thought on Drive Me Crazy?
It was better than the first ones, but I still cannot understand how the crap was said. That's all I have to say on that.
Okay. So then we move to the fourth track, Slip, Slip, Slip of the Lip. So this, from the time I started disliking this record, this was the one song I really liked off the album. Of course, now I like most of the songs on here. So, I mean, it's classic Ratt. It's the one song that has really stood the test of time, especially in the Ratt set list over the years. I mean, it's been a pretty constant staple. I mean, it's got that traditional Ratt groove in there, that sleazy, just Ratt and roll groove in there. So, really enjoy this song quite a bit. It's one of my favorites on the album. So, Steven, what's your thoughts on Slip, Slip, Slip of the Lip?
I can compare this to like you having a rat up under your bed and you can't find it, and yet but it's annoying, and this song is terrible. So I might as well just go make a knife or something because I'm not listening to this anymore. This is crap.
Pete, what is your thoughts on this track?
It was probably one of the only two of the ones that I actually heard that I could actually understand that they were saying, and it actually sounded somewhat decent. So that's all I have to say.
So then we move to track number 5, Body Talk. So very heavy song. It's pretty well known for being in the movie The Golden Child on the soundtrack for that film, and really, really cool song. I mean, second single off the record in Japan only, so traditionally there's only one single released officially, and that's Dance. So Body Talk was second, released in Japan only, and Flip of the Lip was actually released as a promotional single. But I like the song. I mean, it's very heavy. I like the start of the song. I think that's really cool. Very, very 80s also. But, I mean, really, really cool song. Very, very heavy. And this is another one that has stayed in the set over the years. So, I mean, I dig it quite a bit. Steve, what do you think of this track?
Well, yeah, I think this is the best song on the album by far, and I like it. I like it quite a bit, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. So, Pete, what do you think of Body Talk?
I said it sounds something like something from the 60s, 70s, or 80s. And after that, it started going into rock and roll sound to it. That's all I got to say.
All right. So, we flipped this album over to side 2 with Looking for Love. So, this is another song in which Robin Crosby plays some lead guitar on. And I dig it. I think it's a really cool song. Kind of Ratt attempting to make a pop hit, sort of. I mean, it's really cool. It starts out with this real heavy kind of verse riff, and then quickly goes into this more poppy-ish chorus. And really, really cool song. I think this would have made a really, really good single for this record. So, I mean, good song, really good song. Steve, what are your thoughts on Looking for Love?
I think it's the best song on the album by far, and all the rest of it sucks bad. And that's all I got to say. The bassist actually sucks and needs to be fired. So back to you, Devin.
Okay, so you said the pretty much the same exact thing. Track number 5, so cool. So these two are your favorite tracks on the album, aren't they?
Yeah.
All right, so Pete, what do you think of Looking for Love?
The guitar solo was interesting and crack. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. So we move to track number 7, 7th Avenue. So probably by far the most underrated song on the record, I think. The hidden gem for me. I really enjoy this particular song. I think it's got a really cool groove to it, and overall a really good song. I mean, I can't say much else about it. I did hear, like, Robin Crosby said something about he thought it had potential to like land, and that was in one of his final interviews, maybe his final interview before he passed away. So, I mean, I like the song though. I mean, I think it's pretty good. I have heard that some of the members have misgivings about these albums because they were very rushed. I mean, they basically an album, a tour, an album, a tour, an album, a tour, and then the quality started to kind of dip after a while. But I mean, to me, I think Ratt has a solid discography. And I mean, overall, this is a good record. So, 7th Avenue, I really like it. Steven, what are your thoughts on 7th Avenue?
Well, I think it's the best song on the album. Actually, I think it's like the third half worst on the album, and I really don't like it at all. Mainly because it's too long. It's just way too long, and it's drawn out too much. And I just don't like the bassist at all. Again. So back to you, Devin.
Okay, so you think that 3 minutes and 11 seconds is a little bit too long. So what do you prefer this song to be? 1 second?
Yeah, that would be better. How
One
about
and a
0?
half seconds.
I figured that. So, Pete, what are your
100
thoughts?
milliseconds. The beginning of it sounded like something that Kiss would try and do. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, so then we move to track number 8, It Doesn't Matter. So, kind of an album track. I know quite a bit of this album was actually performed live on the tour, so I mean, what I'm calling an album track here or there. Maybe it was performed live, but I like It Doesn't Matter. I mean, it's definitely, like I said, an album track, in my opinion, but I dig the song. I mean, it's very, very 80s, so I dig it. I really do. I dig the song. And this kind of does put forth a shift toward a little bit more glamish sort of metal, even more than Invasion, which is kind of heading in that direction. And I think they go even further into that with the next 2 albums. But I mean, we'll get there one day probably. But It Doesn't Matter. It's definitely an album track in my opinion, but I dig it. I mean, it's definitely kind of like the third to last track on the record. So I dig it. Steve, what are your thoughts on this track?
Well, I think it's an album track, and it's kind of like the third to last, the worst song on the album. And I hate the bassist. And
Okay.
Back to you, Devin.
Okay, I'll call Juan Crucier and tell him that you said that. So.
Yeah, do that. He sucks.
All right. So, Pete, what are your thoughts on It Doesn't Matter?
What I wrote was that I want a piece of pie.
Okay, well.
A cool guitar solo.
Oh, you're It Doesn't Matter. So, let's move on to the next track. Take a Chance, track number 9. So, I like it. I think it's a cool track. It's another album track, in my opinion. I mean, it's definitely the second last track on the record. I mean, I dig it. Good song. So, Steve, what are your thoughts on Take a Chance?
Well, I think it's an album track, and it's the second to last song on the album.
Pete, what do you think of Take a Chance?
ZZ Top's rock and roll cocaine.
Okay. Oh, it reminds you of ZZ Top, rock and roll. Okay.
That's what it reminded me of.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
What it sound like.
Okay. So we move to the final track on the record, track number 10. Enough is Enough. So This definitely sounds like the last track on the record, guys. It puts the album out there as a cohesive work. So, I mean, I've said in past episodes, like last track, if it sounds like an actual final song on a record, to me that gives that tells you all you need to know about it. And it's a cohesive record. So, I mean, I like Enough is Enough. I mean, it's different for Ratt, but overall, I still dig it. Steve, what are your thoughts on this track?
It kind of reminds me of Good Enough by Van Halen. Off of 5150. I don't know why. I mean, maybe it has something to do with the title, but back to you.
So, Pete, what is your thoughts on it? I mean, what are your thoughts on Enough is Enough?
Yes, it says enough is enough.
Okay, so that's it.
Yep.
All right, well, guys, that's been another episode of the D.T.M music. I'm just kidding. So, Steve, what are your rankings for this record?
I'd say it's behind 91 Skinner to be for the second to worst album on the face of Mars, and I'll give this a 0 out of 10. And mainly because I hated the bassist, and they should have got Leon Wilkeson to play bass for them, and Devin on drums.
And also because you've never even heard this friggin' record, supposedly. So
Yeah.
Well, you may be right, but at the same time, the bassist probably still sucked anyway. So.
Okay, so Pete, what are your rankings for this record?
I'm with Steven on this. It's 0.1.5. Yeah, I'm just playing.
Okay.
4 or 5 or something.
Okay. So I give this a 7 out of 10. I think it's a good record. So, and we'll get into picks of the week. Steven, what are your picks of the week? What have you watched or listened?
Well, I have not listened to a lot of Ratt lately, and I've been listening to actually 5150. And speaking of which,
wow.
Just trying to check that out and stuff. But anyway, trying to broaden my horizons. But anyway, and also I've been watching lots of Halloween and also Saw 3. I've watched Saw 3 twice a day now for 2 weeks in a row. It's that good of a movie. You need to go check that out. And yeah, so I don't know. And also go check out my podcast. It's called Ridgeline Podcast. So back to you, Devin.
All right, Pete, what are your picks? What have you watched and or listened to?
Buck Owens, Tiger by the Tail. Roy Clark.
Have you watched anything, Pete?
John Wayne and Western movies.
So
that's basically all I've watched.
My pick of the week this week is, I don't know what the album I'm going to pick. I'll go ahead and give what I've watched, what my pick of the week, and in this case it's Mad TV. I've been watching a lot of Mad TV here lately. I mean, you can find different volumes of that on YouTube, and definitely worth checking out. To me, it's better than Saturday Night Live. Whoops, that last one, but I dig the show. It's much more edgier and Saturday Night Live. Never thought about being other than in several seasons. But, I mean, yeah, really cool show. My music pick of the week is 2112, which I want to review coming. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, go support the podcast. We're on YouTube, the D.T.M Music Podcast. We're on .fm. Go search the podcast there as well. We've got a YouTube page, Facebook page, Anchor page, Facebook group, and we're out there. We're trying to start uploading more content for the YouTube page. I just uploaded yesterday the original episode 2 that we did with the music that got copyright hit. So, I mean, I uploaded that, and then I uploaded Stephen Mott's newest video from his Ridgeline podcast. And coming very, very soon, we have the new line. And we'll be doing that very, very soon. So, I mean, a lot of stuff coming up in the distant future. So, or not so distant future, honestly. So, I mean, go support us. I mean, hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will definitely enjoy editing this episode. So, Steven, you got anything else to say?
I think this was one of the most enjoyable episodes we've ever filmed, to be honest.
Okay. Pete, what are your thoughts? Okay. So, there we go. So, we hope you all enjoyed this episode, and we will be back with another episode very, very soon.
I want y'all to know I did not listen to this album.